ready now. You're ready now, you're ready now, you're ready now. Awareness, aware of thoughts, mind, body. Watching, become the watcher. Well done. Thank you. You may say, I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm sad. That's not true. Those are thoughts. Thoughts passing through the watcher. It's untouched. The watcher is the blue sky, the storms, the thunder, the lightning, the puffy clouds, the cirrus clouds. That's all thoughts. It's not the sky. The sky stays the same. See? You stay the same. The anger, the hurt, the sorrow. Of course, you're not robots. However, they are passing through. The watcher sees the clouds, of course, and it's not the cloud. Once you know yourself as the sky and not the clouds, everything changes. Freedom becomes natural as breathing. And then does this little thing chitter-chatter? Absolutely. It chitter-chatters, and then you're watching the chitter-chatter. Not to enroll the next person. Can you believe he said blah, 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 chatter. No, you're the watcher. It's like, okay, I see I was chitter-chattering to myself. I just did that now. I was cleaning out the fish pond. Yeah, chitter-chattering. I'm like, wow. Another image for you. You're sitting next to a busy road. Yeah, and they can get busy. Some cars are soft, some are loud, some slow, some fast. You're just watching. Some are buses, the cars, you see, it's not to be attached. No judgment. Big difference, big difference. When you're being the mind, yes, and when you're just watching that little mind, don't get sucked in. It can really suck us in. When you start watching the mind, it loses its power. It loses its power. Those things dissolve. Don't get sucked into. Doesn't mean you don't get angry, hurt, sad. Absolutely. Just don't get sucked in that you believe that's who you are. Any questions? Just ask questions. Every word spoken. Right. I want to read. This came December, January, and each word is so precious as it fell on the page. When you start watching the mind, it loses its power. The shift of watching the mind, every word spoken, every thought becomes the observer. It's an awakening. It breaks the illusion that you have carried for so long. The illusion that you are the thoughts, your feelings. You're not. You're the consciousness where all this appears. I'm going to say that again. That's the illusion that you think you're the thoughts. You think you're those feelings, the emotions, energy in motion. You're not. You're the consciousness where all this appears. When you discover this directly, all life changes. It's like a deep peace. Wow. You come home to the one who never moves. When the watcher has been seen, everything deep inside, something softer, something so joyous, a joy. Why? Because pain cannot cling to the watcher. Pain cannot cling to the watcher. Once the watcher has revealed itself to you, it's not loud, it's so gentle, so loving, so beautiful. Once that watcher has revealed itself to you, everything is slow, gentle, loving, kind, caring. It just rises in joy. Yeah, not the joy outside of the world, like joy because you're meeting, or joy because you're loving a meal. No, it's a joy that just is like a fountain that flows from here. Wow. It's a joy that's not dependent of success, of an outcome. It needs nothing. It just exists. Every moment, here and now, is just wow. No cause, no reason. It just is. A joy comes simply because you've come home. Where to yourself. Home. You've come home to yourself. Sit with this for a moment. Digest what I've just said. You've come home. What I'm about to open is your heart. It's the living heart. It's there, not here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the trust. Imagine a heavy mask that you've been wearing. A mask just slips away, falls away. What is that? This mask. A mask just slips away. You feel the simple truth of who you really are. You feel the simple truth of who you really are. You can just be you, your authentic you, not competing, comparing, blah, blah, blah. This joy does not depend on what you gain. What you gain, it grows without effort. Nothing to gain. Why? Nothing's missing. Yeah, true joy has nothing to do with excitement. Excitement is when something external happens. Holiday, a trip, a meal. Joy is your true self. Drinking coffee, hearing the birds sing. These are things that bring me joy. Aware, alive. It requires nothing. It simply is. Yeah, it simply is. That's it. Joy from moment to being in the here and now. Past is done. Future will come. Not attached, not trying to control the future, not trying to have expectations, forcing others to meet your expectations. Joy is natural. It's breathing. It flows. Where is it flowing from? Your essence. Your essence is joy. Wow. Your essence is joy. That's beautiful. When joy is your true being, When joy awakens, life becomes your teacher. Life becomes your teacher. You get gifted the right people at the right time, in the right place, and they just come. Wow, how you walk, how you breathe, how your next shift. There's this next shift. Presence is the very fragrance. Presence is the very fragrance. Oh, I love being here with you, and at the same time, it's a challenge for me. Turns routine into ritual. There's no such thing as a routine. There's a ritual. Folding your clothes, sitting in stillness, not because something has happened. You simply feel joy. Joy does not need a reason. It's an inner light. It's an inner way. It's a fountain of youth. This brings every moment, here and now, into gratitude, a song. When joy arises, you'll notice another shift. How you touch, smell, yes, breathe. That is just an awareness. Every word, eye to eye. It's presence. It's presence. The simple art of being. It's the simple art of being here with presence. Joy becomes a way of living. A grace, washing your face. All simple, yet presence has turned the small into great. It lifts the fog of the past and the future, anchors you into the now. It's an anchor that anchors you into the now. There's an essence. There's a breath away. The past loses its heaviness. The future loses its fantasy. This is a fantasy. And you begin to live in a clarity of simply being with what is, just so what. Without trying to escape it, without trying to make it different. The presence, everything is complete. In presence, that is the only moment you're living, here and now, nothing else. The past is done, no matter how that came and went. It's over, just is, just was, so what? The presence is all we have, because the future is a fantasy. It's a wish that if only, yeah. And then you might even have an expectation of how the future has to look. And it never goes that way. In presence, everything's complete. In presence, that is the only moment you're living. Presence, you are, because presence, you, conscious. Before, you were unconscious, and now you're conscious. Life seems a dream, a blur. Before, you were moving from one drama to another. Once present, you become lighter, more alive, more joyous. You do not need a reason. to sing, dance, have fun. There's no longer a prisoner inside your mind. No longer a prisoner inside your mind. Presence brings something else. Simplicity. Wow, yes, everything goes simple. That's true. Presence brings simplicity. Thank you, thank you. The mind brings stories. It brings drama. It brings confusion. It brings a state of complete disorder, chaos. Presence cuts through all that noise. Presence knows that life is not as heavy as the mind pretends. And then it stops taking over. It stops overthinking. It stops imagining. It just stops all that noise. The fog lifts, the joy, the gratitude, the grace is all yours. Just imagine drinking a steamy, hot, yummy, yummy cup of coffee. If your mind is somewhere else, it is just a habit. But if you're drinking it with presence, it's an act of devotion. The warmth, the taste, you touching something sacred, a blessing, a gratitude of those coffee beans. Life becomes meditative. You're meditating because why? Life, there's no effort, just presence, becoming a natural joy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It softens you. It helps you see with new eyes that do not judge. You cannot judge that moment as fabulous or not so fabulous, or he said, she said, it is, it isn't, or what if, maybe, how come, how do I? You just floating in the essence, in the gratitude, in the love, in the light. Relationships. I want to touch on relationships. When presence begins to bloom, presence allows you to react from love, not from fear. When presence is there, you react out of love, not out of fear. Someone triggers you, then they're showing you a part of you you're unwilling to face. They're the reflection of the mirror, removing the dust. Yes, we're cleaning off the dust of that mirror. When someone triggers you, it's like, okay, what a beautiful lesson. I'm willing, I'm willing, I'm willing. It's inspiring. They are there. Someone inspiring you, showing you a quality that you admire. Someone opens your heart, they're revealing your capacity to love. They're revealing your capacity to love. And this way, every relationship is a doorway back to you. When you realize this, you stop blaming, shaming others. You stop expecting the world to meet those expectations. Plus, you stop expecting others to meet your demands. Let's talk about conflict. Let's talk about conflict. Conflict is when two mirrors are touching the same wound. when you begin to see conflict through presence, through the watcher, there's a wound, and it's when two of you are touching the same wound. It can be painful. Then you begin to see old patterns, the old fears, what's behind your anger, the old stories behind that hurt. And instead of attacking, going into the he said, she said, you begin to soften. You begin to breathe. You begin to look inwards, not outward. Conflict is a gift, an invitation to shed the false self, an invitation to see the places where you have forgotten your own truth, to see the places where you've forgotten to see your own truth. Are you willing? Are you willing to have the wounds, the conflict, the he said, she said? Are you willing to see it? Love grows when expectations are dropped. This for me has been the biggest secret. And this was a relationship, is a relationship where I had an expectation of him and he refused to meet it. Beautiful, how beautiful. Willing to give me that gift. That expectation is the shadow of fear. Expectation is the attempt to control how others behave, how they show up. Expectations turn love into a bargain, into a prison. Love is the flowering, a blooming, has a fragrance, a presence, dissolves expectations. Yes, yes. You begin to see people as they are, not as your wounds, and not as you want them to be. And you know what? Stop clinging, or you stop clinging, you stop demanding, stop shaping others into images I wanted them to be, into fitting. In that freedom, love becomes light, simple, it becomes true. Love deepens when the false dissolves, when you no longer hide behind that mask, when you no longer pretend to be someone you're just not. Speak your truth, be your truth. What is my truth? What is my truth? A deeper relating happens. You see the vulnerability in others. You see how fragile each and every one of us are. You see the beauty, the sovereignty you get to experience beyond the fear, the vulnerability in you, in me. It takes immense vulnerability to be here with you. And yet, I don't want to miss it. Why? Because when this loss you are. And yet you are all of